Hey, I'm Scott and welcome back to my shop. So today we're going to take a 9x9 piece of maple and we're going to make a set of 4 coasters. Some nice curved grooves on them. It's pretty cool, right? Alright, let's get to work. Okay, so we're going to start out with this piece of maple, and this is just a 9x9 by 5/8 square chunk of maple. I had a larger piece laying around the shop, so I resawed it, planed it down, sanded it smooth. This is sanded down to 320. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to find the center of this piece, and magically, you probably can't see it very well, but there you go. You can see that I had the center here marked with some pencil, just drawing corner to corner. Alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole through here. That's the right size hole for our screw chuck. And then we're going to get it mounted up on the lathe. So I'm going to start out here by taking a spring-loaded center punch and just popping a little divot at the intersection of those 2 lines right in the center of the piece. Next I'm going to take this 3/8 drill bit and I'm going to drill a hole through the piece. You just want to make sure that you use the drill that's the appropriate size for your screw chuck or for the woodworm screw that came with your chuck. Here's my chuck with a woodworm screw installed. So I'm just going to take the piece and thread it on the screw. This is a pretty simple turning, so to turn this entire project, I'm just going to be using a 1/8 inch diamond parting tool that's been freshly sharpened. With this zoomed in view, you can see how I'm measuring the distance between the grooves. I'm just taking the tip of the parting tool and letting it rub a little bit on the surface until it leaves a line, and that line then becomes my guide, and then I just take the tool and cut the next groove. To keep the grooves at a consistent depth, you can just mark a spot on the side of your parting tool with a Sharpie, and that should pretty much give you the right depth and keep it consistent, or you can just eyeball it like I did here. The further away from the center I get, the more flexible this piece becomes. So I'm going to get a little bit of vibration. So to deal with that, I'm actually rocking that tool back and forth to make sure I get a nice consistent cut on that groove. It gets a little bit tricky out here on the outer edge. I'm cutting through a lot of air. So I'm just taking my time and just same technique, rocking back and forth nice and slow. And I had no problems cutting through the wood here. You can see here that as long as I kept that parting tool sharp, I got a really nice clean cut. Here I am using a random orbit sander, and I'm just going to give this a light sanding on top to get rid of any of the little wood burrs caused by cutting the grooves. And then I'll flip it over and get rid of the pencil lines that I drew and any marks left by the chuck. Here I am at the table saw, and the first step I'm going to do is cut out that hole in the middle. And once that's done, I'll take these pieces and trim them up to about 4 inches square. Okay, well there you have it. I have a nice set of 4 coasters. They all have this really cool arch design on them. You see I had a little bit of a blowout on the top, and I actually took care of that on the table saw. I'm starting out with a 9-inch square piece, you know, so the coasters can be, you know, kind of fitted if you do have an issue like that. These coasters now are 4 inches square. I've made others that were like 3 3/4, only because that's the size somebody wanted. You know, you can start with a larger piece if you need a larger coaster. You could even start with an even larger piece and a thicker piece and use it as a hot plate or a trivet. So it's kind of cool. You pretty much can have a lot of fun with it. So here's the coaster. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment. If you decide to make these, I'd like to see them, so that would be awesome. And I guess that's it, and I will see you next time at Scott's Mini Woodshop.